刀は抜いた。敵方に一人でも生き残りがいる限り、この刀鞘には収めん。全てはお家のためじゃ。
Welcome to this second campaign gameplay video for Shogun II. Now, if you've not watched the first part, this is going to be a short series of videos just outlining the basic concepts and ideas behind running the campaign for people who are maybe a little bit overwhelmed by the more dynamic nature of this type of gameplay compared to other RTS games. Now, I'll do the normal disclaimer by stating that I am not a tactical genius or anything. I do enjoy this game, and if you are a seasoned Total War player, I don't think you'll find much here that you've not seen before, but you are certainly welcome to watch. Now, at the end of the last video, we saw that I got rid of the enemy forces and everything was set up ready to hit the end turn button, so let's get on with the show. So as you can see, it's very quickly going through the different clans because there's not that much for them to actually do at this stage. Now you get these little videos pop up for new types of units you recruit, and we've got a new mission, Masters of Kaiyu Jutsu. Now please forgive me if I do any wrong pronunciations. How better to defeat one's enemies than by whittling them away beneath a hail of arrows before they can even engage. Our archers are already unmatched in their resilience. By developing their Kaiujutsu skills, we will make them unbeatable. Master the following art, Way of the Bow, and our reward will be a unit of Chosokabi Bow Samurai. Now, from the first video, Way of the Bow is an art skill that I am aiming to go for anyway. So if we just pop up the Mastery of the Arts again, you can see I've still got a turn to go to learn Bushido. Then I'm going to go down Strategy of Attack and then Way of the Bow. I'm doing this to enable, fire arrows. Okay, so there's not that much I want to do at this stage, so I'm going to move my army over here. As you can see from the last battle, these units are still replenishing. I have 2 units in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce this army. Now, just to show you something, I've clicked on the army here, and you can see it's got a recruitment tab. And within here, I can actually pick different units to recruit, and they will be recruited within the nearest city, but will automatically start moving towards my army. So again, I'm going to create these 2. Get rid of that one. As you can see, it's just added the single one into the queue for the city. Okay, construction. We've got 1,259 in our treasury. Now, I do want to build a stronghold, if you recall, but needs 1,600. And I think what I'm going to do is actually develop the road, which will increase my replenishment rate for troops, as you can see on the left-hand side, hopefully, and also the movement speed. It's going to be several turns before I do my next big thing, which is to attack Io. Okay, so let's just start going through the event messages and all these little tabs up here, which I didn't do last time. So event messages at the end of the turn, it shows you everything that's happened automatically. So we've got the mission that's been issued. Quartermaster's report showing us the 2 units that we've recruited. And it says there's another clan that's been encountered. So let's just go to the diplomacy tab. You can see there Sogo down here, friendly towards us, but we can't trade with them because the ports in your home province are at full capacity. But on the big map you can see that they are the white region here. Okay, let's hit the. I'll go over the other tabs as we go along. Okay, so it says Bushido has been learned, and it's saying it's now automatically started running strategy of defense. Now, if you recall, that is not the one that I want to start learning, but anyway, here it says the conquest of Shikoku. Tosa is securely under our control, so begins our quest of Shikoku. We will unite all the provinces under the Chosokabi banner. The Kono and Io are already moving against us, subjugating the first war, avoid a war on two fronts. Blah blah blah. So, and it just says capture any province, and it will reward us with a call to arms, which will give us +1 recruitment slots across all provinces. And this number 4 represents the number of turns that this bonus will be active for, much like the one we've got up here. Now you can see we had this already open, so again it shows us the mission, the art mastered, warriors recruited, construction complete on the harbour, and it also tells us some background on what's going on with other clans in terms of their destruction. Now, one thing I don't like is the fact that it shows us, oh yes, Tokugawa has been destroyed, but, you know, where on the map are they? Anyway, I'll leave those little videos for you to watch. You can see we've got our army here that's been recruited, and if we spin round slightly, but you can do this by using the Q and E keys, you can see there's a little marker to say it's going to move towards our army. Let's just move it back. Okay, that's Mastery of Arts. We'll do. Okay, so it's Strategy of Defense, but because we want Way of the Bow, we want to do Strategy of Attack, so we'll just click on Strategy of Attack, and that's fine. Okay, so again, we can't trade with them. Now let's just go into construction first. Lumber camp. Now we can build lumber yards, which will give us plus 312 and 12 tons of high quality timber, and also reduce the cost of recruiting ships. So I'm not too worried about building the stronghold just yet, so I just want money. Okay, now going across, let's just have a quick look at objectives. Gives you a quick idea of the objectives that you've chosen for the this campaign, and it shows you the provinces that you've taken, provinces held, and also the current missions that you have. So if you click on them, it pops up with the message as well. So that's rather a nice little way of seeing what's going on. Okay, so let's do recruitment. I've got 282 koku left, so I'm going to do some more archers. And end turn. As you saw there, the army unit merged, and if you noticed, I forgot to do that for the other one. It's not something I often do. I like to keep control of the army units as I go along, rather than having them directly. But Can be a nice idea if you've got an army. You want specific units to be recruited into them, just go directly to them, especially later on in the campaign. Alright, let's just move those across there. So you can see it's quite a nice size. It's still got 3 units are still need to have troops added. Let's go in here, we've got 1155 construction. Okay, there's nothing, so we can do so. Let's recruit some more. You can see the quartermaster's report showing us the units that it's built and the construction report. Okay, moving across to the 3rd tab here, you can see it's just a quickie on describing the 3 plans that we've encountered so far and what our situation with them is. Now if you want to have a look at this map in a larger context, you can click on the plus here, just bring it up. Minus will bring it back. If you want to get rid of it totally, there's a little minus tab up here, and then you can just bring it back by clicking on the plus. Anyway, let's move on. As I said before in the first video, I'm going to try and keep these down to about 30 minutes, at most an hour. Okay, again we've got the quartermaster's report with the 2 units we've recruited. We've got 1702. And at this stage we can build the stronghold, but I still want to increase my army. So if I just left click and then control left click and just right click on the army, they merge. Okay, so now going across, little crossed swords, again that pops up and it shows us the 2 generals that we've got. One of them obviously is our daimyo. And these funny looking tabs on here is the experience points before they go up to the next level, but we'll come across that a little bit later. We don't have any navies, but you've got a similar tab for navies there. So it can be a nice way later on when you've got a large number of separate forces over the map, if you want to quickly go through each one in turn to see what they're up to, rather than scrolling around the map and wondering. Anyway, just have a quick look at the Mastery of the Arts. You can see that's 1 more turn to go. Now it's unlikely that I will learn Way of the Bow before I do my attack on IO. Just coming to the end. Okay, it's come up, says the art is mastered, and it's followed down the route that I wanted, Way of the Bow. Just pop up here. You see, because we've gone down this branch here, and it works from left to right, it's picked Way of the Bow automatically. If we'd gone down Strategy of Defence, then the next one it would have picked would have been Way of the Spear, and not Way of the Sea. Way of the Sea, anyway, you can see, requires both of these to be learned before it will be available. But in principle, that's the way it goes. It works from left to right in terms of the choices. But that's fine. You can see it's 7 turns, and there's, as I said, we're not going to get that far before we do our attack. Okay. Now I'm just pondering whether to build the fort or the harbour. But let's do my recruitment first of all. It's down to 1500 and basically they're not available anymore, so I won't worry about them. Now you can see here we've got a war declared, and this is between the Hojo and Takeda. And as you can see, we still have no idea where they are. I mean, when you get into the game a bit further, you're sort of aware of where the clans are, but it does seem to be a little of a shortcoming that you don't have a crude idea of where they actually are anyway. Quartermaster's report, clan destroyed is the Shimatsu. Now that's a little bit of a surprise. They are on this island to the east. Well, actually it's really more to the south, but they tend to be one of the big ones down here, so it's a bit of a surprise. It's quite interesting. Once we've taken the island here, we'll actually be invading here at some point. Okay, so moving on, we've got this tab here, and this gives details of the different provinces that you're aware of, and what the incomes are, and anything special. Okay, so done my recruitment there, so let's click the button again. Now I'm going to do my attack in the spring. I don't want to be caught in the winter moving to an enemy location, because your units immediately start to lose men during the winter. Okay, clan adopts Christianity, the Shoni. Quartermaster's report again. That's it. Okay, so excuse me. Let's take these across here. And again. Now I've got enough now that I can actually build the stronghold, and I think we'll go ahead and do that. You can see one more turn before the lumberyard is built. Just check on the mastery of the arts. I have it in my mind like a habit of going in here, which is no bad thing. I mean, I knew I was doing this anyway, but okay, I don't think we've gone on to clan management. Let's just cover that very quickly. Here you can see that you've got all the different parts regarding your clan in one set of screens. So you've got all the victory conditions for the campaign, current missions that are in existence, diplomacy details about your clan, clan traits, reduce recruitment cost and upkeep for all bow infantry, can recruit superior bow infantry, increased income from farms. Here you have the family and council, and if you click on one of your generals, you can see there are various commissions which give bonuses to where that general is, or for that particular general. You've got a family tree of your children. Records gives you statistics on this side, and also the messages that you've seen. So if you did want to go over something on a previous turn, you could see that here. Okay, so let's hit the button. As you can see, it's not necessarily a constant must do on every single turn. You've got to plan a little bit ahead. This is construction complete, which is the lumberyard. Quartermaster's report, which is our 2 units. Oops, let's take them in. Okay, recruitment. It's going. As you can see, that's now building. 2 more turns before that's built. as you can see, if you've noticed, the income has gone down. That's because the more army units we have, the more maintenance money we have to pay to them. Clan treasury, you've got 115. Now there is a button here, finance, which we haven't touched upon, where we can set the tax levels, etc. It gives you an idea about, here you have it, army upkeep is minus 1,489. Income per turn at the end is 490. I tend not to touch this, keep it at normal. I know some people like to increase it or decrease it, up to them. Trade gives you an idea of how much trade you're doing on different items. As you can see, we are trading with the Mayoshi. It's a summary at the end. And it's there for you to look at if you want. You can get away with not bothering with it too much. Okay, as you can see, we're in winter. I've done my recruitment, so let's just click on the button. You can see some of these do seem to be taking just a little bit longer, because they're probably up to things on their part of the map. War declared between the Oda and Iko-Iki. A son is born. We have a son. So if we go to the clan management screen, family, you can see Fuyu, if that's how you pronounce his name. Okay, so go to the army here. Now what I tend to do at this point, because I'm going to march him into enemy territory, lest I forget, I just make sure that I've got everything set up, just in case I hit the button to change the turn, don't want to miss out. See, I've got 599, and I'm going to recruit 2 more units. Okay, so here we go with the army. So, across the border. Notice I'm taking a steady, short steps. You can see we've got the enemy there. So the red part of the turn there means that's the remaining part of the turn that I've requested, but I can't do it this turn. Okay, so let's hit the button. He seems to have withdrawn his whole army into the castle. Ooh, I've not seen this one ever before. Military cache. Whilst moving through enemy territory, our forces have uncovered a cache of military supplies. It has been transported back to our provinces. Ample army supplies for 4 turns. What does this say? An abundant source of military equipment has significantly reduced the cost of equipping new troops for war, minus 25% the cost of recruiting land units across all provinces. It's rather nice. I have to take advantage of that. And as you can see, if you remembered from the previous times, I've hovered over the Josakabi bow samurai. There were about 500, and that's now down to 400. As you can see, these are quite low as well. So I've only got 433 in the treasury. Okay. You can see it's still got 3 turns to before it's completed. So click on the army. Okay, now it's given me a choice of whether I want to continue the siege, well, restarting it really, auto resolve, assault, or break the siege. You can see all of our forces here, or mine rather. Our general numbers deployed 3,323 against his 860, and his daimyo and general, he's summoned there. He's got 1 unit of bow samurai, 3 units of peasant spearmen, and samurai retainers, who are sort of a standard garrison for his castle. As you get bigger and bigger castles and fortresses, you get more and more defence units if you're attacked. So I think what I'll do is I will continue the siege, because I prefer him to attack me on the land, because if I've not said before, the AI has been greatly improved since the release of Fall of the Samurai, and castles etc. are a lot more difficult to actually breach. Although with only 1 archer unit, that's not too bad. Now, I think before the winter comes in, just go back down here. I think I will actually attack. If we just click on this and take a look, you can see his units have depleted slightly, and if we held on for a lot more turns, he'd lose a lot more men. But it would come to a point where the AI would decide, hang on, I'm going to attack while I still can. So let's go ahead and do a castle siege now. Patience is lit up, but there's nothing there. Didn't think so, because we hadn't built any agents, but it looks a bit odd. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do the attack. Now, this is probably going to take a little bit longer than normal because of the screen capture software that I'm running in the background that always tends to grab a little bit of the resources. You're presented with a small map of the battlefield, so you can start thinking about what you're going to do in the battle. The yellow area is where we can deploy, and the red area is where the enemy can deploy. I'm liable to attack on 2 fronts, with my general and a small force down here in the centre. Should only be a few more seconds, hopefully. If this series goes into any larger battles, then I will edit out some of these long pauses. Okay, so weather conditions. As the attacking force, you may choose to wait for more favourable weather conditions before commencing your attack. Gives you 3 chances of waiting, which will change the weather. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. Can be that you might, if you keep clicking through, you might end up with even worse conditions than you wanted. fog affects reduced visibility. All ships and missile units fire with reduced accuracy and range, and enemy units are concealed by fog at long distance. Well, I want clear weather for this, so that's better. It's dry. So start deployment. Runs through a little video just showing you the place of attack. So let's come out of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is split my forces up. As you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 peasant bowmen. I'm going to have the samurai units stay with my general. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Shigeru. So what I'm going to do is have these as a unit, and they're going to stay with my general. Now I'm going to split the remaining units into 2 forces. It's going to be 3, 4. Now, as is my want, I always start missile units at the other end of the keyboard, so this is going to be 9. This is going to be 8. I don't tend to use 0. Melee units I tend to start from 2 and upwards. Okay, so the my preferred formation for all units is the flying bird. I'm not too worried about the placements just at the moment because I'm going to be moved around a little bit. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to start the attack over here. So first of all, I'll move my spearman, and then number 8, because I'm using 3 and 8 to represent the left flank. Place them there. See, I just double clicked on the map in the corner and it took me straight to the area I wanted to go to. Okay, now just quickly on the map, if you wanted to see a bigger representation of what's going on, you can just click it here, or you can get rid of it there. Okay, let's just get rid of these. Now I'm ready to go. You can see I'm clicked on this unit of bowman. Now what I'm going to do is actually do control click, click and click for all of them, and I'm going to start the battle, and I'm going to use this command here for move forwards, which is going to not only move these guys forwards, but if we scroll back you can see it's also move these forward as well. Let's just get them all to run into position. It's a little trick if you've not seen that before. Okay, so get my bowmen and move them up to here. By default they run. Hold the space key down, then it shows you where everyone's going to be moving to. Let's get rid of that, group orders. Okay, I want to move them a little bit further forward. See for these guys. Now what I'm aiming for is the entire area to be covered by both sets of archers. So if we just click on both, we can see there are some slight dead zones. So using that method we had before,
My lord, a glorious victory will soon be yours.
just want to keep a little bit of an eye on his cavalry. I don't want him to start charging into my archers without any protection. And if you weren't aware of what I just did, I picked on one unit in the group and just double clicked, and the camera took me to
general
them.
has fallen. A cutting blow.
See, we're really ripping into his cavalry, his generals. His daimyo's already dead. Okay, we'll distract his archers.
My lord, their general
It's sort of
has
a
fallen.
suicide mission by
A
my
cutting blow.
peasant spearmen, but it's just to stop these guys, these bowmen, firing too much. See, we've still got plenty of arrows, especially in these guys. These
One of
ones,
our units has used all its ammunition, my lord.
let's just move these guys forward a bit. Yeah, I lost that peasant spearman unit, but I was expecting that because, as I said, it was a little bit of a suicide mission. You can see. Where are they? Bow samurai's down to 37. He's moved off the parapet. These retainers can be quite nasty. nasty little guys, especially against your peasant spearmen.
One of our units has used
So the
all
more of
its
these
ammunition, my
that
lord.
cop it, the better. Okay.
Their ally has abandoned them! Now we have them!
Start my assault. Now, to win this battle, you can see these little flags, and it's this one next to the main building in the centre. If you can hold that for a minute, then you've won. Or destroy their entire forces. So, click on that unit just to... This battle's almost over. As you can see, the timer at the top left hand corner here, it says 22 seconds. I have got the battle set up to be just an hour long, so it'll automatically end if we run out of time. Normally I have it that switched off personally. This is to actually speed up time or slow it down. Victory in the battle, or continue. Continue will allow us to carry on killing the enemy, which would gain experience points, but we're going to do the end battle. Something I normally do is to actually continue the battle just to get my units a little bit more experience. The disadvantage is that if you let too many enemy forces escape, you can end up with a small army still to deal with. I think this video's now, part 2's gone on long enough. So what I'll do is, when we get back to the campaign map, I'll just double check everything's set up, ready for the next enter turn button, and I will end the video. Should only be a moment or two. Now, here we go. So we've got the end results. Shows us our remaining units and the number of men. Now this was sort of the suicide Yari Shigeru that I sent up the wall to distract their archers. It's red because this unit is just lost, basically. Gives you a quick idea of how many men you've deployed, how many you've lost, how many men you've got left, and just have a quick look at the details for each unit, so it gives us an idea of the experience they might have got. But as you can see, there's only one unit that's really gained, so happy about that. Okay, so I'm going to peacefully occupy. Obviously you could loot, which will give you a lot of money, or make them a vassal. Now I've completed that mission, which wanted me to take over a province. Call to arms, which has increased the recruitment slots across all provinces, which I now have 2 of. And as you can see on the map, we've now got these 2 provinces. Just have a look here, we've got 37 kokus, so we can't build anything. Nor can we recruit. Okay, I'm quite happy with that, so see you next time when I will be pressing the button. Thank you for watching.